Where's Jack? Where's Jack? Where is he? Jack, I want to see you. Great job, Jack. Thank you. What a job you do. You know, we have an incredible thing. We're always talking about the fake news and the bad, but we have guys, and these are the guys who should be getting Pulitzers.
All right, Jack Posobiec, we're back here, Human Events Daily, Washington, D.C. We're on with Tanya Posobiec, and she's giving us an Eastern European's perspective on the brutal stabbing, the killing of Irina Zarutska, their Ukrainian girl on her way home from work, riding the light rail the same way she would at home, as you were just talking about. And I wanted to play, do you mind, do you think it would be okay if we played this new footage that's come out?
Yes.
All right, guys, go ahead and play that new footage that has just come out. Let's full screen this if we can. And this is very brief. It's hard to watch, but what you're seeing here, and just loop it. This is immediately after the stabbing has taken place. And you're looking right now at the last moments of her life. And you can see there's that image where she just looks up. What do you think is going through her mind when she's looking up at him?
I feel like she is in shock. She does not realize what's happening. She, at this point, must be hurt. So I think there's adrenaline pumping through her blood. And she's obviously looking around, trying to figure out if she's being attacked by multiple people. She obviously sees just one guy, but her body language, I mean, she is so terrified. She's like clenching her whole body, like in a little shell. She's trying to hide from it, and it's just heartbreaking to watch.
And I'll just say, from a lot of people who are looking at this, and I know that people have said it's confusing, and you can pull it off for now, but it's not like Hollywood, where it's some like Quentin Tarantino film or something like that. And unfortunately, in these cases, it looks to me, and just we'll wait for the autopsy. I'm told the autopsy report will be coming out soon, and I know that Human Events, we've got a team that is requesting it as well, that he may have nicked her artery, and so when they'll come in, they'll use the pocket knife. They'll do boom, boom, boom very quickly, and so she may not have even realized she was stabbed. And those types of injuries, you may not go into shock right away. And in fact, you may not even realize what's going on. And it's a slow bleed out. But if you don't, because you actually see in the video, what she doesn't do is put her hand to her neck. And so she may not have even realized that she was bleeding. But if you nick one of those arteries, it can be gradual, but then very sudden when you do pass away. And it's horrific. And of course, we want to know all the details here publicly. But I want to ask you, though, this level of crime that you just don't see in Eastern Europe, and this type of crime that you just don't see in Eastern Europe, could you address that, being here in the United States, but looking at the U.S. through the lens of an immigrant?
I've been here for a minute, and I have to say that in the last decade, I've noticed such a huge increase in crime, and it seems like white women are being attacked by all the black men almost all the time. And at one point, I don't know if I'm the only one noticing it, but hopefully not. And at some point, people will realize that it's a huge problem in the United States, and more strict policies need to be put in place in order to protect the girls.
Well, and you hear... And you hear often from the media, will go on and on and on about racial issues. This is clearly a racially targeted issue, but you don't hear that from the media, do you?
You absolutely not. And I believe that that's the reason why it took so long for this story to even become viral, because it doesn't fit the normal corporate media narrative, because it's a crime where a white girl gets stabbed by a black man. And this is not usually what they like to publish and get voice to.
What what do you think? You mentioned that you heard about this. Thank you. You mentioned that you heard about this story first from your girlfriends, that it was in your mom's chat that you were talking about this. What do you think about the fact that the president of the United States is now, and I was at the speech yesterday where he talked about it. He just went to the Oval Office itself and he showed the video. And what does it mean to you, not just as an immigrant, but also as a white girl living in America, that the president of the United States is willing to speak out against this?
It honestly feels so important for president to be the people's person, and no story is too big or too small for him. If he feels that something so horrendous is happening in his country, he's going to put all the resources at his hand, and he will make sure to fix whatever problem it is. And I actually would like to say a huge thank you to our president, President Donald J. Trump, for cleaning our big cities. We are in DC, and I cannot tell you how terrible it has been in the last couple of years. The amount of crime, homeless people, all the streets are being run down. And I was just with the kids in DC the other weekend, and it was so great to see the soldiers marching in the streets. It made me feel protected, walking there in the streets with my two little boys and seeing how much cleaner and safer the city feels. And I feel like more blue cities need to get the same kind of treatment as Washington does. Clean out cities.
And it's something where, of course, when we have these situations, we obviously want to have the safety in mind. And they say, why is President Trump doing this? There's been so many attacks about it. There's been so much media criticism of him, and yet here we go. It's as a white mom going around the city, is this something that makes you feel safer?
It really does. And before President Trump took office, I would not even go to DC by myself with the kids. I would
wouldn't even go
I would
downtown.
always ask you to come and join us because I was not feeling safe. Now I finally feel okay taking my kids to a National Gallery of Art or National History Museum and just strolling the streets with them.
Hey, Museum of the Bible.
Museum of the Bible
Museum
is
of
one
the
of our
Bible.
favorites too.
And really just seeing how it is, seeing it out. Final word from you, because I want to get our correspondent on here. What's your message for the White House?
I would like to thank President Trump and all his crew for working so hard every single day to making sure we stay safe as a nation, that our girls are protected, and all the criminals are getting locked up.
God bless. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for doing this. Appreciate it. I know this wasn't an easy one for you. I believe we have Brian Glenn now. He is on site at the White House. He was just in the press briefing room. Brian, I don't know if you're able to hear Tanya Tay. You know Tanya, obviously. The fact that the president and Caroline Leavitt have brought this up and brought it front and center, the safety narrative. I mean, it just seems like something that's so lost on, a lot of, our media colleagues, that they don't understand that there's a lot of moms out there saying, you know what, thank God someone is actually protecting us.
Yeah, Jack, good afternoon. I don't know why the Democrats choose to use this topic as their pushback on this Trump administration. And listening to your wife, I agree. A lot of moms did not come in this city and enjoy the resources that are here. And the fact that if you look at the top 10 most crime statistical cities, the highest crime, all of them, Jack, are Democrat-led mayors, Democrat-led city councils, and they simply have a very hands-off approach to fighting crime.
And Brian, it's really something that it's like, guys, take the politics out of it here for a minute. These are people, right? It doesn't matter the color, the race, etc. They're people who are being protected. But it seems like there's this inversion where they're more, quote unquote, worried about Trump and worried about the troops than they are about people like this young girl who's just being stabbed.
Yeah. Yeah, the young girl from Ukraine that's been here 3 years that came from Ukraine to Charlotte to get away from that war area and then tragically murdered on that train. And Caroline Leavitt led the press conference today, Jack, for a good 10, 12 minutes just specifically on this, and was talking about how this individual numerous times was in front of a judge, was released. Even his mom had gone to court to advocate him getting some type of help, and it simply was not available. Crime's a big issue. President Trump is taking it on directly and fighting it, and we're seeing results.
Brian, we've got a quick break, but let me hold you over because I want to get the end of your comments and everything that went in on the press conference at the White House today. Folks, we are talking about the serious crime issues in American cities and how many times the victims are white. Right back, Real America's Voice.